Today, let's collect Invincible. Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and another episode of our Let's Collect series. Today we're going away from the Marvel, away from the DC. We're going to do a little independent comic. We're going to be talking Invincible, Robert Kirkman's superhero universe, maybe the most successful person to really do this, create their own superhero universe like this, and go with it. This early 2000s to mid 2000 teens book. Telling the story of Mark Grayson that is currently being adapted into an Amazon series. It's a super popular series. So we're going to be talking about the key comics, important story arcs, and fun covers from the Invincible series. Most of our keys will be focused a little bit on Mark, but really the whole series as a whole. As always, to keep these videos more relevant, I'm going to be using this guide for pricing on some of these books. I do this just to kind of throw them in categories so it's easier because it keeps the video from being dated quite so quickly. But yeah, we're going to dig into the key comics for this series. So let's start there with the key comics for Invincible. Alright, let's start with those Invincible keys. First up, we have Savage Dragon 102. This is the first issue in which a preview for the series appeared. There were several issues that had a preview, but this is the first one. Next, we have Noble Causes, Family Secrets, number 3. We get a cameo of Mark Grayson in this particular issue, also setting up the Invincible series that's to come. Our third key is Invincible number 1, first appearance of Invincible and Omni-Man, as well as several other characters. This is obviously the big book of the series. Next, we have Invincible number 2, second appearance of Invincible, first appearance, full appearance of Adam, Eve, and Robot, a cameo of Alan the Alien. Next, we have Invincible number 3, the first appearance of the Flaxons, which are super important to where the storyline goes. Next, we have Invincible number 5, the first full appearance of Alan the Alien. Obviously one of the better and more important characters in the entire series. Next, we have Invincible number 9, first appearance of Monster Girl, also a very key character throughout the whole series that will be super important. Next, we have Invincible number 11, the true origin of Omni-Man. We'd kind of got a little bit of his origin in number 2, but we get the actual origin here. Next, we get Invincible number 16, the first appearance of Angstrom Levi, one of Invincible's biggest foes throughout the series. Next, we have Invincible number 19, the first appearance of Battle Beast, one of everyone's favorite characters, just an absolutely fantastic character that appears here. Next, we have Marvel Team Up number 14, where Invincible goes to the Marvel Universe and meets Spider-Man. This is a big book that a lot of people love. Next, we have Invincible number 44, the first appearance of Anissa, who is definitely a controversial character and one of the more hated characters in the series. Next, we have Invincible Returns number 1, the first appearance of Grand Regent Thrall, definitely our big bad for the whole series. Next, we have Invincible number 110, the controversial issue related to Anissa. I won't say the word here just because otherwise YouTube will get me for that. And then finally, we have Invincible number 113, the first appearance of Tara, Adam, Eve, and Invincible's daughter. Okay, so those were our key comics. I know there's a lot of other keys. I didn't put in first appearance of Oliver. I didn't put in some others. We kept it to 15 for this series. So there are some other keys out there, but I felt like we covered most of the really major characters with those 15 books. So next up, we're going to do the important stories and story arcs within the Invincible series. I really just kind of picked some of my favorites as well as the important ones. This is one of those series, though, you can actually just read the whole thing. I recently did the whole thing with some friends for my indie show series, starting about 2 years ago through about a year ago. And you can basically really just start at the beginning and read this sucker. That way you really understand what's going on. It's only 144 issues. It's really fantastic. But we're going to dig into a few of the important story arcs from Invincible. Okay, let's dig into the stories that I think are most important. First up, we just have the beginning. The first 13 issues tells us the truth about who Mark is, who his dad is, where they come from, critical if you're going to read the stories to just start here at the beginning. Next, we have Angstrom Levi. This is kind of spread out as we get his first appearance in 16 and then 24, then a big showdown between him and Invincible in 32 through 34. Just a huge important character to Mark's arc. Next, we have Conquest, Invincible 61 through 64. Mark and Adam Eve faced off against the Viltrumite warrior Conquest, one of their toughest tests to date, and just a great story. Next, we have the Viltrumite War. This is 66 through 67 and 71 through 78. Battle for control of the Viltrumite Empire. Just a great story and critical to the whole series. Next, we have Dinosaurus, and this is kind of spread out from 68 through 100 as Dinosaurus appears occasionally, but just really important to Mark's growth, the relationship with Dinosaurus in terms of how he becomes the hero he becomes later. And then finally, for this, we got Robot Takeover, Invincible 111 through 117. Just Robot's plan and everything that goes into it is key for everything that comes later. Alright, so those were my choices for the best story arcs within the Invincible series. Obviously, the ending's really good too. Like I said, just read the whole series, really. If you dig into that first couple volumes and you like it, just go for it, because it's worth it. With that, we're going to dig into the fun covers. I always do fun covers. This was a little harder. Almost all the covers, all the ones I ended up choosing pretty much, were by Ryan Ottley. He did the art for most of the series outside the first few issues. Most of the covers were done by Ryan Ottley. So there's not a lot of variation here. So instead of my usual, just where I love pick the ones that were just the best, what I thought were the best art, a lot of these had to do with the best representation of what was going on. The art was great, and it really represented what was going on in the book at the time. So there's a little bit more of a storytelling component to some of these covers, although a couple of them are just purely because the art's fantastic. But these are my choices for the best fun covers from Invincible. Alright, let's dig into these covers. First up, we have this SDCC variant from 2023 on this reprint of Invincible number 9, just my favorite Adam Eve cover. Next, we have Invincible number 50, just a great cover showing Mark's transition as he starts to become a hero on his own and not just rely on others around him. Next, we have 71, which is a great cover, the best of these ones with the little box across the bottom for me, when Mark leaves for the Viltrumite War. Next, we have Invincible number 84, just another great cover of Mark and where he's at that point in the story, kind of on his own and trying to figure things out. Next, we have Invincible number 97. I just love the art on this one, not necessarily the story part, but just a great cover. Next, we have Invincible number 107, Monster Girl and her son, father and son in this case, if you know the story, and just a great cover with what was going on. Next, we have Invincible number 111, Robot beating up Invincible, and just another great story, the cover that fits the story. Next, we have Invincible number 117, maybe my favorite cover in the whole series, Mark, Adam Eve, and their daughter. Next, we have Invincible number 130, another fantastic cover with the showdown between Mark and Robot. And finally, we have Invincible number 140. This style was used for all the final variants, and I love this one with Thrag and Mark. Oh, and a little bonus, non-Otley covers. These Tyler Kirkham Whatnot covers of Invincible, Omni-Man, and Adam Eve are fantastic. Okay, so those were our covers. We already covered our keys and we covered our stories. Like I said, this is a great series if you've never dug into it. If you like superhero comics, but you want something a little different than your standard Marvel and DC, this is a great place to go and read. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next time. Later.